You've been watching decentralized finance for a while now. Seen some people make a fortune, others lose everything. You want to get involved now, but the complexity is insane. The risk, unbearable. Let's face it, you have no time to specialize in decentralized apps, and no money to lose either. Well, there is an easy way to earn returns from DeFi. A solution with no trading involved, no hassle. A place where you're always in control. Just deposit funds and watch your savings grow. We're talking about an app. We're talking about the Yield app. DeFi Banking.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Fridays with Yield app, our first ever live stream panel show. I am joined here today by Tim Frost, CEO of Yield app. Say hi, Tim.
Hey, Rebecca. And it's great to be here, and thanks for hosting tonight.
No problem. Say hello, Keith Wareing.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Say hello, Crypto Rover.
Hello, thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, thanks for being here. First of all, guys, apologies that we're a bit late. We did have technical issues. They are all my fault. I am born of the wrong generation and do not know technology. So that's all my fault, and you can blame me for that. But we're going to jump straight into it now, and hopefully we're going to have a really lively chat to make up for it. So today we're talking about Bitcoin, the bear market, if it's real or it's all just a really big hoax. Are we really going to 12K, or are we going to go to the moon by the end of the month? So I'm going to start off with you, Keith. Can you give us your view at the moment on where Bitcoin is, where you think it's going to go?
Yeah. So I'm first of all, I'm not a bear. I'm a massive Bitcoin bull. But there's a lot of key indicators in the space that are exactly the same as at the beginning of 2018. One actually that is probably, if you go back in the history of the charts, if you look at the weekly MACD on Bitcoin, historically, although it's a lagging indicator, it crosses down at the end of a bull market, and it did so at the end of April. And I remember saying at the beginning of the year, hey, as soon as the MACD crosses down, I'm getting out. And yeah, that's happened. So that and many other things.
Quick, can you tell us what MACD is for people that aren't aware?
Yeah, so it's a place that you can drive there, you can get burgers, you can get milkshakes. It's the moving average divergence convergence indicator. It's compiled of two elements. You've got a histogram at the bottom, which shows kind of green and red charts, and then you've got two lines: the MACD line, which is typically a blue line, and then the signal line. So when the blue MACD is crossing down through the signal line, it's generally a bearish signal. Like I said, it's a lagging indicator typically, so it's not very good for short-term trading, but it just kind of visualizes the momentum a little bit. And when the blue line is crossing up through the red signal line, that usually is a signal that momentum has returned to the market and upwards price action can be expected. Okay,
so right now, this is telling you bearish.
Yeah, it's just blown wide open. It is pinching off a little bit, showing that the selling pressure is running out. But I think there's a lot of people who are hesitant in the market at the moment, and I think that we're still going to see aftershocks over an extended period of time. Whether it's as brutal as the last bear market, I don't know. I've got levels that I'm looking at on the charts, 12K being one of them. And whilst I would love to be able to buy down there, I am 50-50 because I don't have the conviction to short to there. It's going to be a rough ride if that happens. But yeah.
So what are we talking? Well, first of all, Rover, what do you think about that? Do you agree with that analysis?
Of course, everyone has their own analysis. And personally, no, I don't think that we're going to go to the 12K. And as well, I don't think it's smart to base an opinion on just an indicator, what is also built on previous price action in Bitcoin. Of course, we have been seeing 2013, 2017, previous bull runs. And right now, the bull run is way different. We have institutional interests. We have bigger companies that, of course, are willing to step into the market. And as well, if we're going to fall towards the level, maybe, of course, I'm a very big bull in Bitcoin if we're talking about the long term.
Bullshit.
I'm a very, very big bull if we're talking about the long run. But of course, in the immediate short term, we can be dropping off a little bit here. And there are so many people anticipating, of course, Bitcoin trading on 20K or 25K. And that is, of course, also one of the reasons why I should not be anticipating that certain level. There is already so much fear in the market. And as well, if we're looking to the on-chain data, we see there's a lot of accumulation going around on these levels. Literally yesterday, there was an approximately outflow of 4K Ethereum on Coinbase. What signifies is that there is an insane institution, of course, even buying up more crypto. And especially what I'm currently can see, there's a lot of institutional interest in Ethereum. And I mean, as long as the smart money is buying, I will be buying as well here. And I mean, yeah, we are trading below key indicators right now here. Yeah, just like I told you, these are as well based on previous price action. And we also have insane amounts of open interest, what we were not seeing here in the previous bull runs. And that can be, of course, also a driver of this very insane correction that we are right now having here. Because of the high interest, of course, that we are right now having here, the high open interest that we are right now having here in the market, these whales, these rich individuals, these institutions can be as well driving prices up or down very quickly. And no one was expecting a 40 to 50% bump here. But the smart money, the big players, they know if people are going to see it, and people are right now selling. You can see as well, if you look to other on-chain data charts here, if we're talking about long-term holders versus short-term holders, is that there are coming more and more long-term holders in towards the market, and the short-term holders, they are decreasing very significantly. And besides that as well, the miners are as well accumulating right now. And I do think that the smart money knows more than we know right now here. And I mean, I think it's very important to as well secure some of my profits here in YLD yield app, because of course you don't want to be risking it all. So that's the reason why we're also using YLD yield app. And to gain still interest, even though the prices are going to fall a little bit further.
Right, hedge your bets. So, I mean, Tim, the point about institutional money, that's a really big one. The market arguably doesn't look anything like it did in 2018 today because of all that big institutional money that's coming in. And then, of course, DeFi, as Rover just mentioned. I mean, what do you think?
There is. I mean, there is more institutional interest just overall than there was over the last few years. I mean, this is a natural progression. But however, I think if you get back to the topic at hand, I mean, if we're still in a bull market, I mean, we need to be trending up to all-time highs again. And I'm failing to see what that catalyst is going to be. I mean, there's accumulation. I mean, early 2018, there was still, I guess, latecomers to the market. And of course, no one really understands until hindsight, was that market actually over? Is there still kind of another leg or two up into that market? But just that catalyst, I mean, so from all the data that I see, I mean, I think I'd love to see a bull market kind of rage on for another year, and I think everyone in here would. But I'm failing to see that catalyst. Besides that, the traditional markets are still, doing quite well, and then we're in charted territories with the COVID era. Just this constant stimulus packages are going to be coming in. So I do see a scenario where retail kind of does come back in, but there is no such thing as another real bull market without kind of a real FOMO event from retail environment. So I just feel like they're exhausted. I got different barometers I test. I talk to, my childhood friends have stopped calling me, and asking for tips. They've kind of forgot about me for the last, couple months now. So in my just intuition is just telling me that this market is over. We're still probably 2 years away from Ethereum 2.0, and just a number of reasons that I would be leaning that we are in a bearish market.
Keith, I remember you mentioning that last time we spoke, that your phone was just like ringing off the hook with people. Is that not happening to you anymore?
Not at all. No, it's really funny. I had people calling me all the time when Bitcoin was at like 50K and the high 40s, asking how to buy it. And then as soon as it started to drop off, it just so did the interest. As Rover said, you can't use one single indicator to determine whether it's a bullish or a bearish market. and that this time is different. But I actually don't see it being different in any way, shape, or form. There's lots of key indicators. Like if you remember back in 2017, when people started talking about the flippening of ETH, flippening Bitcoin, that was exactly the same way. 1 month after Bitcoin's all-time high, Ethereum had an all-time high. That's just happened now. Bitcoin had an all-time high, Ethereum had an all-time high. Everyone talking about the flippening, and we all know, as Tim just said, it isn't ready yet. Like Ethereum 2.0 will be awesome. I think I'm a big Ethereum fan. I think it's a spectacular thing, but it's not ready, and we need it to be ready for there to be a real catalyst for people to really want to FOMO into it. A lot of people have PTSD from the last bear market of hodling alts when they went down 99%. Institutional investors came into Bitcoin at the end of the bull market in 2017. Institutions came when the CME started trading Bitcoin. That's when institutions could get involved. And what happened to the price? It got absolutely crushed. So I don't see it as being a particularly different landscape. The one thing that I do see as being a different landscape is obviously DeFi, and that could potentially drag out or prop up the market, because if we get various pockets that are performing well, that could then redrive interest in Bitcoin, like we had in 2018 when we had the Libra FOMO pump in the July, or was it 2019, when everyone was going mad about what was happening with Facebook and their own currency, and Bitcoin just had this renewed interest, and it was great. I think DeFi can provide that renewed interest and shorten the bear market next time, but 100% is a bear cycle. And what really worries me is, right now there's an inverse cup and handle on the daily, which is playing out perfectly and has been for the last 3 weeks.
For us peoples that aren't traders, can you explain what an inverse handle on the daily means?
So you have like a cup and handle. Actually, I've done a video, and I did a video yesterday that kind of explained it. But essentially, a cup and handle is where you see like a cup and then a handle, and then when it breaks above the handle, you measure the bottom of the move to the top of the move. And let's say that it was a 22K move when Bitcoin fell from 64,000 to like the current price. And you get the base of the cup. So what you do is you move that 22 and you put that on the handle, and that's potentially where you could see the next move if it breaks beyond that. But regardless of that particular pattern, that's just one I'm looking at. If it breaks in the other direction and becomes bullish again, you've still got a lot of people that bought in at 64K that are probably absolutely sweating right now, thinking, hold on a minute, I piled in my house money, or I sold my house, went into Bitcoin at 62K, and I think a lot of retail right now is going to create a huge amount of resistance. And until that is like Rover was saying, until those guys are out, until those almost like the crypto tourists have left, we can't find a solid floor, and we can't go back up again. As much as I would love it to go up to 100K, I just don't see it happening this year.
Do you agree with that, Rover? Do you believe in all of this same kind of technical analysis stuff?
Of course, you can't deny that you're seeing an inverse cup and handle right now. That's a thing that's right now playing out, and there are several bearish patterns unfolding right now in the charts. But as well, if you're also as well looking to certain patterns, and if you're as well looking to previous price action, you can also take 2013, where you could have also seen that we were having two spikes in price as well. And as well, if we're generally talking about cycles, because personally, of course, I hate to say this time is different, because that is definitely not a strategy that you should be using. But I mean, if we're looking to all the previous cycles, every cycle takes longer in Bitcoin, what you can see from here on. And it's also one of my reasons why I do expect this cycle can be maybe extending to maybe the beginning of 2022. And I've been also saying this to my viewers, because I've been showing them a chart about the previous cycles, how long it take, and right now as well, how long this cycle right now is taking. Is right now we're exactly on the same page where we are in 2017, but I do think it can be taking a little bit longer. And as well, I like to look at on-chain data. That's a thing that I think is very important to look at, and as well to models like the stock-to-flow model. And the stock-to-flow model as well, indicating that we're undervalued, that we are sitting at lower stages. And as well, with all the FUD coming in here, we all know about Elon Musk here, because I personally think we can all agree with this move down was 70% created by Elon Musk here. He has been creating the FUD in the market.
I mean, isn't that just what the media likes to portray? Didn't China have a big role in it as well?
Of course, they were helping to create the FUD, but what have changed with the China news? Literally nothing. The news was exactly the same here, but they were just repeating all over again what they have been doing in the several times here. And as well with India right now, they've been saying that they're going to ban crypto, and right now they're trying to regulate it. It doesn't make any sense. It is just pure causing FUD in the market, and they have a lot of influence in the market, and they see what they're doing. And right now, India is as well saying that they're going to regulate it, and as well with JP Morgan is right now saying that Bitcoin is looking extremely bearish. And we all know what JP Morgan was doing in 2017. He was saying, oh, Bitcoin, you want to be staying away from it. But in the meantime, he was buying it up. So, yeah, I mean,
Jamie
that's
Dimon
basically my
to
opinion.
fire anybody that touched Bitcoin, and from the company that now just launched a private client fund. Yeah, that's our favorite. Us crypto people, that's our favorite. But what does all of this mean, Tim? What does all of this mean for like average users? You know, this kind of bear market stuff, Bitcoin,
Well,
blah.
I mean, I'm not a trader. I've learned long ago to not be a trader. I mean, I great respect for Rover and Keith, and my trading colleagues here. But if you are long in long crypto overall, Bitcoin, Ether, which I do advise people like these are great long-term holds. I mean, you shouldn't be trying to day trade. Most traders are going to get just completely wrecked, and so. I mean, I learned hard lessons, I think, long ago. I'm just I guess I will hold, right? And that's why, that's primarily why I wanted to build a yield app is just passive, conservative gains on the base assets. So, whether we're in a bear bull market, I mean, if you're long crypto, I mean, it's just be cautious. And I mean, the biggest thing is. This time is different. It's kind of, I think maybe I've been around long enough to learn that, this time is different. Is something I've heard already through many cycles in life, and it's never different.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes there's tiny differences. But
I mean, there's more substance now. I mean, listen. I mean, crypto has evolved a lot. So since 2017, I mean, DeFi has almost solidified Ethereum. Period. Like, if you would have asked me 2 years ago about the future of Ethereum, I would have been convinced it was going to go to zero. Now I'm convinced that it will overtake Bitcoin and market cap, just because of just the incredible infrastructure that's being built. But again, it's kind of where I stand out. So, and yes, DeFi will prop up crypto overall, and those that are paying attention to everything that's happening. I mean, you realize that there's incredible kind of world-changing innovation that is I guess developing in front of our eyes. So if you're worried about short-term price speculation, then obviously that's going to make you determine how you're going to make your own short-term financial decisions. But
so, speaking of DeFi and kind of long-term and strategies and so on, we've actually got a comment here regarding stable coins. To your point, Keith, keeping a kind of good chunk of your portfolio in stable coins from Silent Hunter. I mean, how sensible, because we've had a chat about this before, where, one of the things that tends to exacerbate a market sell-off sometimes is people move to stable coins and then use them to buy dips that then kind of continues the cycle. So is it better just to kind of buy your stable coins, put them somewhere, walk away until the bear market is over, or use some kind of strategy with them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'd say to the majority of people, just either hold Bitcoin, and just stay, if you can, just forget about it and just whatever. Or if you're going to be holding stable for buying a potential dip that could, like I'm buying along the way. I've got several levels that I've marked out, which are previous levels of resistance throughout the bull market. For example, like 33K is holding pretty well right now. It's tested it too many times for me. I think if I went in to buy the dip at 33K, it would then drop to the next level down, and then I'm trapped at 33K. And then there's a long way down between 29 and 24. So I think putting kind of quite what may seem like unrealistic orders for a bounce. So right now, I wouldn't touch Bitcoin until 24. and I would then want to sell it at about 29. If I get that trade, great. If not, I don't care because I already hold a substantial amount of Bitcoin. If the bull market resumes, then I've already got my tether ready, so I don't have to sell any Bitcoin to buy nice toys. But I will do that on the way down. So I will wait for each level down. So I've marked it out as potentially 24k to 29 as a range. For some reason, TradingView's updated and I can't see my lines anymore.
Okay. All right. So you're trading around with those stable coins. Rover, how do you use stable coins in it? Well, I mean, I'm not sure you agree we're in a bear market, but
I mean, I've been telling my viewers always, because there were some bearish signals flagging as well while we were sitting on 65k, etc. We were creating huge bearish divergence, and that was, of course, making me feel pretty bearish, because I've been as well on the channel calling $4,200 as the top for Ethereum. Unfortunately, we were going towards $4,400, but on that level, I took a partial. Quite a big amount of profits on my Ethereum and of course as well on Bitcoin. And I told my viewers as well here, we will be using these profits to dollar cost average back in towards the market if we're going to fall further lower. And the problem here, what's right now going on here, because people look back to all the success stories, because people tend to only listen to success stories and not to the things that are going wrong here. But people think they can be still crushing the market right now, to sell their whole position, to sell their whole bag, to potentially buy back cheaper. But if I look at all the indicators, I think the potential risk that you're taking right now to sell everything, to buy back cheaper, is too high of a risk here. So, of course, I think it's important to have some stable coins inside of you. And just like you mentioned, of course, we both agree on the levels of major support. And the more times you're knocking on a certain ball, the 30 towards 32k range here is an amazing level of support. But the more times you're going to knock on it, the more likely it will be that you're going to fall through it. And in January 2021, we have also approximately 6 to 7 touch points over there. So I do think this level can be holding up for maybe some more touches, but of course, if we're really going to break lower, I would really look to accumulate more around the 24 towards 26k in Bitcoin. And I do expect, of course, a move back towards the 30k. But if we're really going to fall below the 30k, also if we're looking at volume support here, because I use the VPVR, the volume range here. Very important indicator in my opinion, because in that indicator you can see how much volume is traded on certain levels in the chart. And you can see that there's almost no volume traded below the 30k towards the 26, 25k. So I have been saying as well to my viewers that there is a potential, of course, if we're going to close below the 30k in terms of the daily candle close, we can be falling very quickly towards the downside, and there can be a lot of volatility towards the market. But I've been also saying, guys, I mean, volatility, you can be looking at it on both ways here. But if the market is going to move in such a rapid pace towards the downside, we can also benefit from it, because if the market is going to move up or down, for me, it doesn't necessarily matter, because I will be benefiting both ways, right? So of course, I'm a long-term believer, but of course, short-term, your thoughts can be changing every single hour. I mean, it can be, of course, a development coming out here or a certain news article, what can change your whole opinion about a certain market. So, I mean, you want to be having stable coins inside of you to always accumulate the dips, and of course, also use stable coins to build up your interest. I'm using YLD, of course, to gain interest. I mean, you're in a bull market, but it's very important to lock in your profits. And the only way how you can do so is just holding stable coins, because the market is just extremely volatile. We all see it. And with locking in your profits and as well gaining interest on it, I mean, it's literally the best strategy in my opinion.
I mean, that is the kind of game changer. And I think both Tim and Keith, you've touched on this. These days, is like you can move your money into stable coins, and then you can put them with someone like us, or other people like us, but us, and earn up to 20% APY. This was not an opportunity available in the last crisis. So is not DeFi actually providing a floor underneath, giving a bottom to what could be a bottomless plunge? Tim, what do you reckon?
Well, definitely. I think it's changed. I mean, everything. I mean, stable coins overall in 2018 we're not trusted. I mean, I don't think, hardly anyone was actually, trusting to hold their capital and tether. And, over the last years, I mean, that trust has, continued to just gain. And I don't even know if that's, there's reasons behind that. But, however, this is where the market is. But, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to move out of crypto, period. The reality is you can continue there's so many options right now just to continue to, to accumulate your crypto wealth, whether it's on the asset or through stablecoin. So it's something that wasn't even an option a few years ago.
Right, but I mean, I guess so. This is for you, Keith. I mean, although it's providing a floor for the market, I mean that doesn't really mean much for prices of things like Bitcoin and kind of more risk-on volatile assets, right? Or does it?
Well, no. I mean, like Tim says, you don't need to leave crypto, period. You can stay in crypto now in a bear market thanks to DeFi, and thanks to services like Yield App. And I think that now that people have that option, I don't know whether that's bullish or bearish for Bitcoin, which is why I'm completely hedged at the moment. Like Rover said, don't sell all your crypto. Just don't sell all your Bitcoin. It's just you just don't do that. You have to be. I think you have to be hedged.
Not financial advice, but
no. You don't sell all your. You never sell all your Bitcoin. That's just you never sell all your Bitcoin, because if everybody did that, it would go to zero. Right, so you always have to hold. You hedge 50%. You are dancing with fire if you sell all your Bitcoin. Your emotions will run high every time there's a $500 candle. But the thing is now that there are options where you can park stable coins, a lot of people are going, well, let's take 20, 30 million off the table. A group of people do that, with large sums. That is going to have a huge impact on the overall market cap. And if they're sitting there earning 20%, and the price is going sideways, they're not necessarily in a rush to pile back into Bitcoin. So it affords the luxury to wait and just see how it plays out. And by keeping staying in the market, staying in Bitcoin, and hedging with a little bit of tether on the side. Do you notice as well? I don't know if anyone is aware of the whole, whenever there's huge amounts of tether FUD, it's when you need tether the most. So we recently had a load of tether FUD recirculating on Twitter, and lo and behold, the price dumped. Oh, isn't that interesting? So I don't know if it's a bullish or bearish thing, because the fact that people can just hold their tether and an interest on it, and they're not going to lose anything. I mean, it's great for crypto, but not necessarily great for price action. We need a big bullish catalyst next. Right. We just need something ridiculously bullish.
And what could that catalyst be, Rover? What do you think the next big bullish catalyst could be?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, of course, going around. I mean, there are companies like Apple, Walmart, etc. There's a lot of speculation. People are saying, oh, they're buying this or buying that, but they have not been saying anything clear about that. I mean, also a month ago or so, it was Mark Zuckerberg that also did a small tweak here on his Facebook page about Bitcoin. I do think the dominoes are starting to fall here. PayPal, of course, falling for it, and of course, way more big companies as well. They want to be looking in they want to be saving. They don't want to be going bankrupt, so they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, because Bitcoin is the only scarce asset here on the planet. Because personally, in my opinion, of course, we have gold, but gold is getting manipulated quite significantly in terms of how much we can be mining, etc. And of course, in the space, there is unlimited amounts of gold. And of course, you don't know when we will be getting there, but you can be already thinking in the future, because my Bitcoin investment is at least for the long term, and I'm not thinking short term. And I don't even care if we're going to drop back to 20K. I will be always bullish on Bitcoin. I will be long-term always bullish on Bitcoin, and you always want to be holding it. And these companies, they are seeing as well, because they currently are holding a lot of dollars as well. And they are seeing the same, like we can see over here, that they are printing insane amounts of dollars. And of course, this is creating mass inflation. And these companies are trying to secure in their profits and their wealth. So that is the reason why I do expect the first dominoes has been falling, but there will be more and more fallen, and there will be more companies joining Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space, and that will be, in the end of the day, the driver of the market, and of course the reason why we will be seeing new all-time highs getting created within the coming year.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, companies, MicroStrategy this week announced that they're going to attempt to raise another 400 million, I believe, to buy
500 million.
Right. I mean, there's reasons around that for MicroStrategy, around kind of, profit hedging and, things that they might need to do for their own balance sheets. But, their stated objective is because they're trying to beat inflation. And I don't know, it's one of those scary monsters people have been threatening for a while, because we've been printing money, printers have been going for years now, and we still haven't really seen an uptick in inflation. So we haven't really seen
Sorry, can you do that again? I thought it was brr.
Money printers go. Brrr.
Sound like a mogwai from Gremlins.
Okay, but we haven't seen that. Go on.
No, I was just going to say Michal Saylor. It's funny you mentioned him because I was watching a clip of him the other day, and he said something completely unexpected. And he was saying that because a lot of people in crypto are kind of chanting, "Oh, the dollar's going to zero. The dollar's going to zero." And actually, a couple of days ago here in Spain, the price of electricity went up, and I couldn't help but wonder: has the price of electric gone up, or has the price of the euro gone down? And it's like houses never go up in value. It's just the value of the money goes down. But Saylor was saying he actually sees Bitcoin helping the US dollar in the future. And it was a really strange, interesting take on it. It wasn't the usual dollars going to zero. It was, no, hold on a minute. We've got this asset that can essentially underwrite the value of the dollar in the future. And that was something very interesting because it goes against a lot of the mainstream sort of shouty narratives you hear about, fiat going to zero a lot of the time. And I think that's definitely going to be watch the price of the dollar. Is it being artificially inflated? Is that why Bitcoin's really going down? Maybe watch that, because if that is the case, then a reversal could be quite spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those kind of boogeymen that's always hung over the market. It feels like the Fed would never let it happen, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see whether or not it comes through. So, I mean, returning back to kind of DeFi's role in all of this, or non-role in all of this, I mean, how much is this going to affect companies within actual providers within the crypto space? I mean, I assume not an awful lot amount if you're doing a lot of money in stable coins and, I mean, DeFi business models, are they under threat in this kind of environment? Tim, what do you think?
I mean, yields have compressed a bit. I mean, to be expected. I mean, they're, the underlying assets in the DeFi space have, like the rest of the market, have had a big pullback. So, I mean, are these DeFi projects and protocols and companies, are they going to face hardships? Well, of course they will if there's really a bear market. And like any type of bear market, I mean, the great companies will, continue to evolve and harden up and become, excellent companies, and most companies will kind of disappear. And the same with protocols and those teams of, yes, it's a natural kind of evolution and kind of cleansing that crypto does very, I guess, brutally. And so if you look back at like the 2017 ICOs that became like ETHLend, that became Aave, which was, an incredible, obviously pioneering the whole DeFi space, and, what the people at Celsius did, and Nexo, and so many of these, fantastic projects that have evolved out of it. So, I mean, it's crypto moves very, very harsh and quick and violently, which is it's kind of a great thing too. And the best thing though for those that are supporting projects, I mean, you can shift your support, very, very quickly and easily to anything that you want.
Yeah, I think, as you say, it can be an opportunity for many companies in the space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one for us, I hope, Tim. Right?
Well, we're in a great spot. I feel very good about where we sit at in the market today. So,
actually, Tim, I was thinking about this. I think you are in a great spot, funnily enough, because like right now, even though I'm dipping in and out of yield, as you know, and I'm sometimes trying to play bounces and stuff. If I get caught out in the cold and I'm stuck in Tether and Bitcoin like goes beyond my expectation, chances are then I have no choice but to go to places like Yield App, because I would have missed the boat. So you're like a win-win. So if the price goes down, hey, I can earn interest. If the price goes up and I get stuck in Tether, hey, I can just try and claw back some of my losses by parking here. So I think your model actually works in both markets, which I think is quite exciting. So,
fantastic.
My 2 cents.
No. Well, listen, we're coming towards the end of our time, so let's have some kind of roundup thoughts then about. I mean, no one ever likes to do predictions, especially about the future, but let's do some predictions. Rover, what do you reckon over the next 3 months? I don't know.
The next 3 months probably going to be boring, because if we're looking back to history, usually the summer not a lot of movement for Bitcoin. So yeah, I do think the coming 3 months will be probably a lot of sideways action here. But yeah, if you want to hear my prediction for the end of the year, I do think that we will be probably setting a new all-time high here, because the market sentiment by just one company stepping in towards the market can change right away here. So be prepared for new all-time highs.
Okay, what are you watching out for? What are you waiting for an in on?
Sorry?
What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for anything? Are you waiting for a buying opportunity?
I'm currently already hugely exposed here. Always still have something aside here. I've been accumulating this recent drop off here, and yeah, of course, if we're going to fall, worst case scenario, in my opinion, of course, 20K, 19.6K approximately, worst case scenario. But too many people are anticipating it, so I don't think that level will be getting reached here. So then my next target will be around the 24 to 26K here as accumulation. I do think that we're already from the point that we're right now trading. I'm probably going to increase towards the 42K, towards 44K, in my opinion. It can be maybe a little bit of a relief rally, or we can be, of course, creating more volatile after that. But that's the thing that we have to be reevaluating after that. But no, that are basically my thoughts right now for Bitcoin.
Okay, Keith, 3 months.
Yeah, well, I'm just watching first of all, I'm watching the inverse cup and handle pattern on the daily, and 39K is resistance there. So if we break and close above 39K, like Rover says, that I think that's when we'll get a relief rally. It'd be interesting to see where that falters, but I think kind of 42 is a key level. I mean, I wouldn't flip completely bullish until we break the 64K again, because I'm also worried about a double top if we break this, if this structure gets invalidated that I'm looking at, and then it gets bullish again. I can just imagine people getting trapped in at 64K again. Yeah, so but I do believe it's no man's land. I really do. I think it's very difficult to call it. I think everything that's been discussed on this stream is I think we're all kind of in the same boat really of it is just a matter of waiting, and the 24K as well that's exactly where I'm buying, Rover. That's exactly where I've got my orders.
24K.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim, next 3 months, what do you reckon?
A lot of sideways action. I think that's pretty clear what we're seeing in the short term. No one sees what we're really going to go, but I do believe that, like he said, there will be a relief rally. There always is. So even if we're still in a bear market, which doesn't mean that we don't go back to the 45K Bitcoin and then start to I guess bring more people into the market, right? So but I don't see us. I think it's very unlikely that we retest all-time highs, which would be really kind of continue that bull market. So then I think it's a slow, painful, trek down after this. So does it hit 12K? I don't know about that. I think 17K I think is reasonable.
Okay. All right. Well, on that happy note, let's round up. Crypto, can you tell us, or Rover? May I call you Rover? May I call you Rover?
Call me Rover.
Tell everybody where to find you, please.
You can find me on Instagram at Crypto Rover YT. You can also follow me on YouTube, where I'm mostly active here, streaming all day, uploading videos every single day. There's literally no day I've been missing here for the past 4 months here. So yeah, you can go to the channel Crypto Rover, very easy to search up. You can be probably finding it over there. As well, you can be joining the Discord server from me. The Discord server link is also on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I should just highly suggest go to Crypto Rover on YouTube, and you will be finding all the details over there.
Perfect. Keith, where can they find you? Hey.
So you can find me pretty much by the pool, doing nothing. I've missed many days instead of making videos because I'm so you can find me at youtube.com/Keith Crypto Trades. I've also got a free Telegram trading group which is linked in the description of all of my videos, and Instagram. Jesus, you're so much younger than me, Rover, man. What's Instagram?
Instagram.
With the times, Keith. Tim, where can people find you?
I think I guess on Twitter, yes, I think Tim Yield. I think you can find me at. I think it's the best place for me. I can always connect on LinkedIn as well. So, anyways, thanks for hosting this, Rebecca.
No problem. Thanks so much, everyone. And you can, of course, follow Yield App at Yield App on any social media handle of your choice, including YouTube, which we've been live on today. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. Hopefully next time it will be seamless, and we hope to see you then. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a really, really great Friday.
Right. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Rover.
Peace.
Keith.
Thank you.
Cheers.